I chime in with the haven't you people ever heard of? But on a serious note, I am doing two things in this video. Talking about the novel for NaNoWriMo and NaNoWriMo and my writing thing, if that makes sense. I'll get to that in a second. Also, if you hear noises in the background, they're doing construction outside my apartment. So, we'll see what happens. Okay, first off, the novel I'm working on for NaNoWriMo is a Power Rangers parody. I've been meaning to put this video for about 3 days, 4 days, and been busy. Get to that in 1 minute. But basically my novel is a Power Rangers parody, but I'm trying to make it serious. That's going to be in itself kind of hard. I know. Guys in suits fighting aliens and stuff, yeah, I know it's going to be hard. But we'll see what happens. Basically, it's a story about a guy who gets powers and is just trying to save the world. It's a basic hero story. I'm also trying to incorporate a lot of the funny bits of Power Rangers, like the explosion in the background, the flipping over the cameras, the random poses everywhere that they're gonna fight and do this and then go after the fighting. So I'm trying to put that in the story, which I think will be fun. I know I won't be able to get all of it, but I'm sure I can get a lot of it. And for people like me who grew up with Power Rangers, I'm going to put a lot of references in there. So they'll be able to go, ooh, I recognize that, and that, and that, and that. I have decided that I am going to put it on Wattpad whenever I finish it. But it's going to be after I finish On the Edge of Comfort, which is up there now. And it's going to have another chapter soon, when I get around to editing it. Which is going to be after this video, actually. But I'm going to put it on Wattpad, as I said, after I finish that story and then also edit the book that I'm working on, the Power Rangers book that I'm working on now. Because I'm not going to put what I wrote for NaNoWriMo. Because in essence of NaNoWriMo, it does not, you don't edit in NaNoWriMo. So I'm not uploading my first draft. I'm going to wait until it's at least a little bit polished before I put it up on Wattpad. Now, the thing about NaNoWriMo that's not throwing me off, but it's kind of difficult for me. Most of my days, I work full-time job, and most of the time I work evenings, so I don't get off until right after midnight. So whenever I'm writing for, say, like, what, the 4th November, let's use that date, because that was a day ago, 2 days ago. Whenever I was writing for the 4th, I got home at about 12:30, 1 o'clock, whatever it was, and I was still writing for the 4th, but whenever I uploaded to NaNoWriMo, it said I was writing for the 5th, since technically it was the 5th. I get that, but it's throwing me off so much, and I'm trying to get ahead because I'm worried that it's going to be, I'm going to be at 49,000 on the 30th, and then get home at after midnight, and it's going to be, I got 50,000 words. No, you got 50,000 words December 1st. So close, kind of thing. So that's why I'm going to try to get ahead and finish the 50,000 before the end of the month. We'll see. The reason, well, the excuse really, why I'm so far behind is because I've been still outlining the Power Ranger story right now. This past month in October, I was outlining a fantasy book, which I'm still kind of outlining, but I'm putting that on the back burner now since NaNoWriMo's begun. So I'm trying to do the outline for the book, which is getting longer than I expected, the Power Rangers book. The fantasy book is huge. It's turning out to be an epic fantasy, which, great. It's going to be that freaking thick and probably 200,000 to 300,000 words. But I'm trying to do more on the outlining right now. That way, I need a good solid thing to work with. I can free type, but I'm worried that that's kind of what I did for NaNoWriMo last year whenever I kind of did my own test run. Didn't really do it, but kind of, if that makes sense. I just kind of free wrote to an idea. I didn't have any kind of structure to it or anything, and I ended up making a novella which was like 32,000 words or something like that. And by doing that, I didn't get 50,000 words in the whole month. So I'm trying now to look at my outline and set it up and go, okay, I have 4 or 5 chapters left and I have 10,000 words I have to write, or whatever it is. The math part of my brain kicks in for that part. I try to write each chapter 5,000 words. So 5,000 or 50,000 words for the month divided by 5,000. There's your chapters I normally try to do. This makes sense to me, and it may make sense to a few other people. I don't know. But this is it's a double-edged sword. It's hurting me because I'm not getting as much writing done because I'm typing out just barely what I'm doing while trying to find the ending and everything for the outline. And then added with the parody stuff I'm trying to put in with the little explosion stuff, and it's like, oh, chapter 4, you can have him flip over the camera right here, blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is. Another problem, I'm just crapping today, aren't I? Another problem, though, is I write all my chapters in single files, just so I can go back later and edit each individual, and then put them all together and edit the whole thing. It makes sense to me. I know. And that's what is kind of messing with me, because when NaNoWriMo, I try to upload it, I don't know if it messes up with me or something, but when I can't upload just what I've typed, I have to upload the whole shebang kind of thing. And it works. It's great if I upload the whole thing. It's just that's not how I type. I upload, or I do little segments and separate them, because I write down whatever I type in a notebook for that day. And then that goes back to the, well, I wrote this on the 6th of November, but technically it's the 7th in the morning, so I wrote this many this day and this many this day. It's confusing. That's my issues right now with it. But that's my own problem, and it's a very humble brag kind of thing. So there's no real big issue. I'm just telling anybody who's looking at the Wattpad stuff or looking at my NaNoWriMo page and looking at the word count, this is why it looks so oddball and I'm way behind in my head for what excuses I've said. But that's all for this video, and I'll try to put another video for NaNoWriMo up soon. But this is talking about the story that I'm working on and what I'm doing for NaNoWriMo. Johnny.